I'm Brett Haber. Look, Team Europe was a big favorite in this competition. Not just Roger and Rafa, but all 7 of their players in the top 11 in the world. And Team World, Lindsay, took them right down to the wire.
And they almost did it. And it was 8 hours of drama and emotion on the final day, really what this event is all about. Wasn't a lot of hope for Team World going into this tie, maybe even less going into this final day. But those first 2 matches changed everything, and they almost pulled off a big upset.
You know, it's so amazing when we're fortunate enough to get to see events like this that are driven by emotion. The players long for it. You know, they're individual athletes that don't get to do that much team competing. So when you see guys like this afterwards holding the trophy up, the exultation that Team Europe feels, and the pain and the frustration and sorrow that Team World feels, it's really magnified because we're such an individual sport. So I personally live for moments like this. I love to see the teams come together. I feel bad for the heartbreak of Team World, but man, what an amazing weekend.
The tennis was obviously the main story. It always is what unfolds between the lines, but there were so many subplots and so much support of teammates, the coaching from Roger and Rafa on Team Europe, the chemistry of the young guys on Team World. It was a sight to see.
It really was, and you could see how bonded Team World was and how well they worked together. It was Nick Kyrgios who was doing most of the coaching, delivering good messages. And as you mentioned on Team Europe, it was Rafa Nadal. He might not have played today, but he played a big role in his team's success this entire weekend.
Rafa was there to coach Roger on day 1. Roger returned the favor yesterday. They were all there picking each other up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to watch and to see 2 legends like Nadal and Federer come together, listen to each other, share thoughts, talk to the other teammates, try to be kind of co-pilots when they're not playing is really interesting. And Lindsay, you mentioned Nick Kyrgios. I tell you, I've always had an unbelievable amount of respect for his tennis IQ. I know he always has a very good tennis mind. We talk about the histrionics and the volatility. We see how he plays on the court when he's stable, and we know that he's got a tennis IQ that's great, but after watching him for the last couple of days behind the bench, his words and the way he dealt with his teammates playing, him trying to coach, I tell you, he was very, very impactful.